Hey guys, it's Imp here, and welcome to turn 4. Should be quarter 4 of 1936, October, all the way till the new year. Really not too much to do on this turn. I'm just going to go ahead and let it speed through. And like I said in last terms, I did all my organizational stuff previously. So really we're just going to see what pops up, and I'm going to be preparing for an eventual invasion of Persia. It's really interesting. If you're not familiar with what this is a Let's Play. It's done a little bit differently, and that I'm hoping to build a community so that in future games we're going to have like votes and stuff. So it ought to be really cool. You can go to the website to look up the full rules. But for now, let's go ahead and turn it on so I can get this turn done. I want it to try to be as short as possible. As you can see, we have a lot of industrial production going. We have a few more garrison divisions coming up. Nothing too big. And we're beefing up our industrial production technology as well as supply production. The typical strategy in this game is to divert all production from supplies, and at least as the Soviet Union, to divert production from supplies to other sectors that need it, and to trade resources, these resources right up here, to trade them out so that you can get money and pay for the supplies. We're going to keep that just the way it is because we're almost at the end of 36, and I want our industrial techs to be the most advanced that they can be. Alright, so here we have one slight change up in the plans, and I'll show you right now. I'm going to go ahead and divert Light Tank Engine 3 because it's pretty much 2 years ahead, so I can go ahead and grab Advanced Construction Engineering real quick. So we need that so that we can improve the infrastructure that we have going on. Alright, so we have maximum spies internally. We have 43 free spies, which means that our spy corps has built up in all of our targets, so we're going to check where those are. Since we have 43 free spies, they'll just like instantly fill up Sweden. Yep, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and switch them on to supporting communism. And now we're going to do the same with There we go. We should be building a pretty powerful Scandinavian bloc, communist sympathizers. That being said, I'm going to turn down the leadership on spies to about half what it is and research more technologies. Gonna continue our previous research in light tank engine and bring the research needs up to about there. And we may go ahead and try to diplomatically influence somebody. It's always good to prevent Sinking from a fascist drift, so we're going to influence them towards us and see what else we can do a little bit later. This will still allow us to generate a good number of spies per day, so we won't have to worry about it anymore. And we've increased our research a little bit, so we're ready to proceed. Okay, so we have anti-tank ammo. Let's go ahead and... what I'm going to do is divert that from tanks and artillery to air power, specifically focusing on the medium bomb so that we can improve our close air support capabilities. We will come back later on to these artillery advances and try to work on them a little bit later because they're still pretty far behind. But for right now, we're not gonna do too much of that. We're gonna go ahead and grab the basic bomb and do, I do believe, light bomb development. Yeah, you can see it right there, close air support, plus 0.25, and hardtack plus 1.25. So it's a very good development for what we plan to do. I was kind of interested in maybe trying to influence Poland to join us, but I decided early on that that would just be wasted resources because there's so much against Poland at this point in the game. If it were a human player, I might actually consider it because then I could be pretty assured that I wouldn't have to waste as much resources. I'm going to take a few seconds and add these into my chain of command. Very interesting. Alright, there we go. So they're added in and named and everything. Alright, you'll notice that my cores are You'll notice that the cores themselves are pulling away from the front lines, and I think this is because they're leadership elements and they have no actual troops attached to them. What I plan to do is attach a active duty infantry, maybe an active duty garrison brigade to each one, and maybe a reserve artillery brigade to each one, so that they will have some combat elements, so they'll be more inclined to be on the front lines which they're assigned. But you can see that they're not actually moving too far away from where they're assigned to protect. But yeah. As you can see, we're about to have a production increase fairly soon. It looks like the 22nd. We should gain about 5 production immediately, and then 3 to 5 production a few days afterwards as new factories come online. Most of this new production I'm going to devote directly to producing more production. And that's why I do supply production advances very early on. Is you can now see we were at a deficit in terms of supplies that we were producing, and now we're at a pretty solid surplus. So we're going to see how long that lasts, and based upon what that surplus is, I'm going to reassign more production from supplies to actual production, build a couple more fortresses. They're pretty much the same. It's still not a solid surplus, so I'm going to go ahead and let it run like it is right now. Let me see. See, we have a huge need for reinforcement. It's because these new divisions are coming online. So I'm going to assign a little bit of production to that, about 3 points. I should have kept that around 3 previously, but we'll go ahead and leave that open. But this gives us enough production surplus to start work on another fortress. I don't know if the audio caught that last statement. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue, and I think this will be the end of the turn. You'll notice that I accepted the trade with Norway even though I was hesitant to trade with Luxembourg. The reason is every time you do a trade with a nation, it brings your relations up with that nation a tiny bit. And Norway, I'm trying right now to convert to Stalinism, and I noticed my relations previously were plus 15 with them, so let's go ahead and check what that is. And you'll see now Norway's relations are plus 30, and high relations, thus more accepted trade deals. High relations will make them move very quickly, not only to gaining of our faction, but if we decide to exert influence on them, they'll move very quickly to our brand of communism, to our faction, excuse me. In fact, we can go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you exactly how that works. I'm trying to keep this a little bit, not so in depth, but I want to go ahead and show this to you. All right, we take a look at their movement, and they're moving towards the Allies with a value of 2.46. They're getting a bonus of 0.03 due to relations with faction members, and they're getting a bonus of 0.10 due to relations with faction members to me. They're getting a proximity bonus, which means like if they're nearby, as in like geographically nearby, they get a proximity bonus. And then based upon the makeup of their political body, like what their people believe, they get an ideology bonus. And what I'm trying to do is trying to make the ideology bonus match me so that they move more towards my faction. And the same thing with Sweden. In fact, I may want to go ahead and do a couple trade deals with Sweden in order to get them higher relations. If you're really savvy at it, you can really make the trades work towards you, because you can get like you can get up to plus 200 relations, plus 200 relations, and every 30 points of relations gives you 0.10 of movement towards your faction. So 200 would be like 1 plus 1.8. So I mean, it can be a huge deal. So let's go ahead and trade with Sweden. Now I bought metal, and I don't need metal. I did that simply to raise the relations. So we're going to go ahead and see if they accept that, and we're going to compare our relations before and after. Relations before is 0. Alright, they accepted it. Relations afterwards 15, which should result in a 0.05 boost in their diplomatics towards our faction. Which it did, 0.05 due to relations with faction members. So there you go, that's relations in a nutshell. Alright, and as you can see, our factories were processed. So we're going to go ahead and assign most of this production towards more factories again. The green areas, you'll notice, the green areas are places where existing industrial capacities has already been built. Yeah, you'll notice I'm putting pretty much all the new industry up here near this stupid lake or whatever. Alright, so we're near the end of the turn. Still haven't gotten any submissions in for the contest. It's really, not really disappointing because that's pretty much what I expected. So I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully as this channel gets a little bit more popular and stuff like that, we'll do that. I guess maybe one of the videos I could post up is a explanation of relations in Hearts of Iron. That'd actually be really cool. So I may, yeah, I'll go ahead and post this, and then in a few minutes I'll do a relations video so that people can search that on the interwebs. But anyhow, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all for turn 5.